We have some cedar shingles here that were just removed from a roof that we're replacing. They're 18-inch Western red cedar perfections. The butt originally was 3/8 of an inch. The length 18 inches by random widths. And as you can see, these are actually some of the better ones that we took off. But as you can see, there's degradation here, particularly most predominant with this one. Some going on here to the extent that the thickness of the butt has reduced from 3/8 to a hair above 1/4. So, and that's typical when a shingle degrades from UV degradation. And so there's a couple of things that make this happen. Mainly, I want to first talk about ventilation. Lack of ventilation makes the shingle dry out, burn, cook, cup upward. These shingles are not too badly cupped, but they did fail. And as you can see here, this is just completely cooked. These are bad as well, but not quite as bad as this. The biggest problem with these shingles is, and one of the biggest offenders in the way that cedar roofs are installed, is how they were nailed. Okay, you want to see, or I want to see, a nail. This is the exposure line of where the exposure on the shingle is. Okay, so this line here it shows you the transition from a weathered shingle to a shingle which was buried under the headlap of the shingle. Above this exposure line, you want to be within 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches. This nail, as an example, is 3 inches, 3¼ inches roughly. This one is 2 inches and 3/4. This one is 3 3/8. This one is 3 5/8. This one is 3 1/4. This one is 3 3/4. This one is 4 1/4. So the range of nailing here is 2 to 4 times higher than it is supposed to be. So 200% to 400% higher up the shingle than it is supposed to be. So we'll quickly go over what that 200 to 400% excess height nailing will do. The further down the shingle, if the shingles are nailed appropriately, as I mentioned earlier, the front of the shingle is less apt to and is less able to cup up, warp up, buckle up. If it is nailed high, it is very susceptible to buckling, warping, cupping, whatever you want to call it. And these and all the shingles we have here, the entire roof that we ripped off, was nailed high. And this is the most common, or I shouldn't say the most common, but one of the most common deficiencies that I see in cedar roofs is that they are nailed improperly. It's one of the main reasons that they fail prematurely. And in most cases, they fail in under 5 years, simply because of the placement of nails. And also, and you can see it at this one, it may be difficult for you to see, but also because of the use of pneumatic air guns, nail guns, what we call nail guns. A cedar roof, in my opinion, is meant to be hand nailed. You can control the pressure, you can control how the nail is being set into the shingle. The human touch is very, very different from a compressor, which in most cases is generating air from multiple nail guns that multiple guys are using. So on the basis of how fast they're going, the machine will supply air to those guns, and often it's not regulated very great, and the pressure will be too excessive or not enough pressure, but in most cases it'll blow it through the shingle. These three here have that going on. So effectively almost half of the nails here were installed high and set and almost blown through the wood shingle. So hand nailing versus the use of nail guns, air guns, whatever you'd like to call them, is a big point of contention. In my opinion, a cedar roof is not a viable cedar roof if installed with nail guns. Lastly, And equally as important, you can see sort of some of the remnants of rust here, I think. That being the best example. That's actually a rotted steel nail head that's set in the wood. The shank of the nail does not exist, but the head of the nail is still in the wood. And this is a very young wood shingle. There's a piece of a rusted nail here, okay? And so the only option that I will offer an owner when proposing a cedar roof is stainless steel nails. Not coated steel nails, not steel nails. No type of nail outside of stainless steel nails. And if I am within and inside of 15 miles of salt water, I will use a 316 alloy, stainless steel alloy, in lieu of a 304 stainless steel alloy. Very, very important.